Hello survivors, and welcome to another Soulstone survivors video. In today's video we have a chain build for everyone. We are playing on the Legionnaire, and as you can see we are running Jupiter Spear, Penance, Pestilence, Chain Lightning and Unchained Chaos. The sixth skill being Bloodlust is something I wanted to use for the cast frequency, but you can use a variety of different skills. You can use Lightning Surge, you can use Shield Wall, Intimidating Shout, anything and everything goes. You can use whatever you want. You can use all of those skills as well as fillers until you get all the skills that you want as well. In terms of Ascension, unfortunately he only applies burn with his Ascension, so he won't be using it in this run or in this Overlord cycle. And then the runes we run are Skill Mastery Holy to get Penance, Skill Mastery Chaos to get Unchained Chaos, and then we use Endless Refill. In case you don't get all of these in the first cycle, we then get the extra rerolls and locks for the next couple of cycles. We then running Multicast Mastery, Focused Fire, Crit Mastery and Vulnerable Target. The Critical Mastery and Vulnerable Target are just because I actually couldn't think of a really good rune set to run with these skills because they are so unique to each other and only really have Chain as a common upgrade. I mean, I guess you can go Synergetic and then you got the Electric to whatever else you want, and Chaos as well, so that could have worked, but I decided to go for Crit rather, get myself 84% crit chance and then the crit damage as well, so we can work on crit. We do get quite a bit of dazed as well from there, distracted and electrified, and then the disarray and chaotic as well. So let's have a look at what it's like and go from there. Also devs, I don't know why that black loading screen takes that long. Alright, so a couple of things to note is Jupiter Spear was mistakenly tool-tipped for quite some time. It was a chain skill and I don't believe it had the chain tag to it. And I know that we are running Bloodlust, but if you do feel like running something better like Shield Wall for the armor and going and trying to get the potency really high and getting the cooldown really low, which is quite difficult for Shield Wall because it has quite a high cooldown, cooldown to duration ratio. It's one of those really tough ones. I think it starts off on only lasting for like 5 seconds or something, and then the cooldown is really long. So the duration versus cooldown is quite hectic. So you know, you have to invest quite a lot into the skill, especially when you're not running Scent of Blood, but it's still really cool, really strong. As you can see, there's not much to really see visually for the skill typing. We are running a lot of chain, so they're going to chain to all of the enemies and they only chain a specific amount of times, and as far as I know, the amount of times that they chain cannot be increased. Although in saying that, I do actually think the chain amount can be increased if you use I don't know, it doesn't mention how many jumps, 3 times, jumps 8 times, 5, 7, so these all say how many times they jump, and Unchained Chaos is random, so there is no way to actually increase the amount of jumps unless there's a new passive that was introduced that I haven't seen yet, but maybe there is and we just haven't seen them yet. But I don't think there is a passive anywhere here or in the game that is increasing jumps. So it would actually be quite interesting to, as a chain passive, maybe add that to the game one day, because that would be really cool, and also make them more viable as end game skills, especially Pestilence being a really strong skill but not really that good for the end game because it doesn't bounce enough times. You're only going to be hitting 5 targets when you are being chased by like 100, so it's very strong but it's very limited. Maybe it's because of the limitations that it is very strong, or maybe it was limited for a specific reason, and maybe the developers didn't want it to be jumping infinitely, otherwise it's going to be way too strong, especially as a chain skill. So I don't know, it's possible. maybe if they bounce too many times, they will bounce to the same, like between the same targets. So if you have only 5 bosses alive and nothing else alive, then it will bounce infinitely between the bosses, and that's just too much free damage. That would also be quite a cool little concept as well, you know, try and get your chain skills to infinitely bounce between the same targets over and over again. That would be really, really cool. Maybe it could be a rune in the future or something like that, just to help with specific skills in this case. Like, I mean, we got an ammunition rune, we got runes for prowess, maybe we need a rune for chain as well to make it a little bit stronger. Now, I did say I wasn't going to get the Ascension. It kind of just happens on its own. As we're walking around, we're picking them up on their cells over there. Polarity Shift is going to make it so Penance as well as Unchained Chaos get more multicast, as well as, I did say Penance, sorry, Penance, Pestilence, and Unchained Chaos. Going to get 72% multicast chance, and then we can grab the multicast chance over here for Burst type, which is then again Pestilence and Chain Lightning. So that's also very, very good. Grab that. We don't need the Burn to Slow. We've got Disarray as a skill, so we don't need the slow. And then that's going to obviously increase the amount of damage that we can dish out, or also decrease the amount of damage we can dish out. It just depends on RNG and where the pendulum is swinging at that given time of you know, the disarray cycle. So it just depends. Just depends. Might as well just pick all the stuff up and use the Ascension, since I've already got 3 of them up, you know. Get it up and going, and we are nearly there. Another 17. I don't like so his Ascension used to cause Shattered, or used to cause Melting, and then when Melting got changed to Shattered and Burn no longer melts, or, you know, Melting was no longer a thing with burning, it got turned to Shattered. The Ascension did not get Shattered. I think that might be a mistake, and no one's actually told the devs. I don't know. I will ask the developer, you know, to let me know, because I think that does make Legionnaire's Ascension much weaker than what it used to be, and I think that does bring us back to well, there's no actual point in playing him, because if I'm not getting Shattered on his Ascension, then what's the point of it? His and Beastmasters are probably the weakest Ascensions right now. But let's get rid of all these chains over here. It did take us 7 minutes to... I'm not the chains, those weird components. So it did take us 7 minutes to get to this point. Is it going to take us even longer? We are sitting on 12 minutes right now. We do have 10 upgrade points. We need a lot more damage. We're just not finding it. Area of effect we don't need. We get rotting. That's actually pretty good. Cast frequency. That's actually really, really good as well. So that's nearly on its maximum amount, or, you know, the lowest amount of cooldown that it does need. So that should do it. There we go. Cast frequency up and running all of the time, which is fantastic. So that's actually going to help all of our abilities now, with Bloodlust being active 24/7. It's probably something that if we had better RNG, should have happened on the cycle 0, but of course, being the way it is, it doesn't always work that way. Our damage is actually quite decent, and again, if you were looking to take this a little bit further, or try to take it a little bit further, you can always use Shield Wall instead of Bloodlust, but I think the Shield Wall, I think the Bloodlust is actually very good over here, because it is giving us that extra cast frequency, which I think is helping quite a lot over here. So I think the build does need the Bloodlust, as you can see, but it is quite satisfying having the chain events occurring on the skills. There's just so much lightning going on everywhere. Can't even see any of the chains going. Well, I mean, hardly see them. We can see a bit of Pestilence and Unchained Chaos. But because the Chain Lightning and the Jupiter Spear have such a low cooldown, and also because their cooldowns are at different times, they keep going off completely differently, and that's leaving so much lightning going all over the place. So because there's a double lightning over there, it is actually doing quite a bit. We can go, ooh, that's a nice one over there, so multicast chance and the crit chance. What we can do though is we can go and grab as much damage as possible on everything. Multicast chance, of course, cast frequency, but we do need the skill chains. Well, I mean, skill chains, so funny, we're playing a chain build and then we've got the skill chain. So quite a meme build. Is it any good? Unfortunately, we didn't make up any time. I mean, we're supposed to be faster in Overlord Cycle 0, but I think this might be one of those builds that, you know, if you're going into Overlord Cycle 6, or if you want to try and get to Overlord Cycle 6, this might be one of those builds that the more you go, you know, further into the run, the stronger it's going to get. There have been a couple of runs like that, but let's see what did the most damage over here. Let's just use these points because they're in the way. So let's just see, we did hit level 104, which is okay, it's not the greatest, but let's just take a look and see where we get there. Quite a bit of armor over there. We do have the resilience. Pestilence coming in with a whack ton more damage than absolutely anything else. I was actually worried the catapult boulder was going to do a lot more damage, but I think if it doesn't have the shattered, it really won't do as much damage as this. So Penance actually doing quite a lot of damage over there, and Chain Lightning dealing more. I mean, it was level 29 though, so poor Unchained Chaos was kind of left in the dust with absolutely no buffs. Level 6 over there only. Chain Lightning, I mean, we were level 29 with it and it still did less damage than a level 6 Penance. I mean, even the damage modifiers, it was a whack ton more. So it does just show you that some of the skills just do so much more damage. It might be because it chains an extra time as well, but the way that it works, I mean, you can see it's not even that much more damage, but it did deal more damage, with this dealing 1.2 billion damage, so nearly 10 times more damage than everything else. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.